right. Mic check, mic check. Alright, so it's working now. Alright, perfect. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just gonna do quick updates today. So I think I just want to update. There's several things that I'm seeing here before quad witching and FOMC tomorrow. What I'm seeing here is that it looks like we are going through very similar to possibly end of April last year, and I'm gonna explain the why. It so far it seems very similar. We are seeing very similar moves since the GameStop earning. As you can see, this on the right side is the 2024 last year April, and then this one here on the left is where we at. As you can see, the way it dipped also happened here. It's just that kind of we had a much more a higher pop compared to this one, but in terms of the algo, it matches perfectly. In terms of the MACD, when I close the RSI here, it also mimic very similar level. It broke out of the middle line, which also happened to here. Come down where there's a pullback, right? There's also pullback here. But the interesting I notice is that even though there's a sharp pullback after the recent GameStop earning, the MACD doesn't have much pullback, which also tells me that it's kind of mimicking similarly this level, which is last year 2024 April 25th. After that, what happened was it continued to going upside, and then it goes above the first the pop level, which what happened here. So I do expect there's one more pop or twice, one or twice, either after FOMC or before FOMC. But I do want to point out that there's a gap that they left. So I'm also looking at this with AMC. So therefore, I do expect some pullback. So that's just my opinion based on what I'm seeing here. So as you can see, this is a 5-minute chart. There's a partial gap they left here at $24.85. There's also a gap they left here at $25.85. It looks very small, but they all fill this small gap previously. So I'm expecting that we could potentially come down to fill this gap, which what you've seen here. There's a time that it goes upside and had a pullback, making a very nice perfect triangle formation, and then this thing started breaking out of it. So if we were to just let's assume that if we were to going very similar to last year run, and the funny thing is the last year run also matched with the AMC run. I do expect also AMC is going through a beginning of 2021 January type of squeeze cycle. The reason I said it is because we went through all this accumulation in a much more a bigger time frame, like a longer time frame. So let me see, and then we are at the end of it, and when I zoom out, yeah, this is COVID on the right side, and then they do all this kind of weird accumulation. This is ape conversion and dilutions, all that stuff, very similar to this final the bear cycle. And pop after RK tweet, this thing also pop. It go through this area. There's a pullback, go up, down, right? Go up, down, and then after that they do this kind of weird stuff where like they hit 3 times. They also created a similar chart where they hit 3 times, which now hit the bottom here, making a huge triangle formation. And now we are entering 2021 January squeeze cycle. So I think we are so I think the timing wise, it's very similar to for AMC. It's very similar to for AMC. We're very similar to 2021 January. For GameStop, I think they're, instead of mimicking 2020 September, I think they're rewriting maybe whole like a whole different algo to break the cycle. And GameStop might be mimicking last year run, maybe, just because that there's a warrant dividends events happening early October, and then I think that will be the catalyst to create a gamma squeeze into this the short squeeze phase. So I think the setup is clearly there. As you can see for AMC, after this thing created 3 times, right? Three, a triple, top, whatever you want to call this one, which mimicking very similarly. It didn't go down as further because back then, in 2020 December 11th, AMC did a share offerings, and then also November 9th, 2020, they also did another share offering. So that's what they create this, but this time they didn't do any share offering, but they just, the market maker just created a very similar algo. So either way, this was the AMC algo was meant to create this type of triple top before heading into a squeeze cycle. Now this thing started breaking out of it. So when you kind of look at MACD here, it's I mean personally I think that we now finishing this this area, right? This final area. Let me just change the color. Shit. What is a better one? Sometimes it's hard to see. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. See. So go triple top, 1, 2, 3, push back, squeeze, 1, 2, 3, push back, squeeze. Right. The setup is clearly there. I think, people might wonder like when AMC might blow up and stuff. Last video I mentioned about somewhere between October, November. But I think it's better to say like, I mean, unless they drag it out, like it could blow up in December or so on, right? But I think the January call options for next year, 2026 January call options getting stacked up, right? Like stacking up like crazy. So I think there's a reason why calls are like stacking up like crazy. I took a look at AMC call. Oh shit. 1 second. So last time I took a look at AMC call options, and then for January call options, there's a huge number of call options, right? The open interest. So and it is, I think, extremely cheap. I'm not saying this is as a financial advice. Like this is just my just based on what I'm seeing here. So if this blows up, I think people who have these call options will make a lot of money. I never seen this this much for $20 call options. There's almost 100,000 open interest. I never seen this before. 24K. It's like it's getting like stacked up right now, and I think this is either retail investors or I think maybe somebody knows what's going on. They're preparing it, right? Like I'm pretty sure like there's a group of like AMC where they have a Discord or something, right? And then people share like TA and stuff, and then people might start to stacking up, like they prepare their positions right now. I think it's better to prepare position, but I'm waiting for a pullback, and I'm gonna explain why. I don't think we're gonna see just like a final like just short squeeze events right here. after FOMC. I know there's a lot of hype, and I mean, it is good. It is good that there's a orange GameStop orange events, and then that will pretty much like set up to force the short sellers to cover their short positions, basically, right? I do see that way as well. But I think we have to be mindful that they can always drag time a little bit, until hitting that final squeeze, the price. We might see a pop, and I do think that, as you can see, this is 2021 January chart, right? This thing, I mean, at that time, we have to be mindful of the algo speed as well here. This is only for option traders, not for people who have shares. Shares is fine. As you can see, this goes up and down like this 3 times. It's like a staircase, and then this thing blow up. You see that? The squeeze has a very distinguished, I think, a pattern here where they first start with this, and then second they create another second staircases, and then squeeze, right? So they have a 1, 2, 3, 4. I can break it down into 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The 4 is the final short squeeze phase. We are starting just the beginning of this first area. You know what I mean? So we are just here, right? You see that? So therefore, I think, as you can see, there's a pullback, right? It's gonna be it's gonna go upside, I think, after FOMC or something like that, or tomorrow, and there's gonna be a pullback or something, because this Friday is a huge week because of the quad witching, right? You know that, right? Every Friday there's option expiration day, but especially like every quarter there's a huge expiration day with like ETF, the big options that expires the middle of the Friday. And this Friday is the that OPEX week, right? The quad witching, right? So a lot of there's going to be a lot of option to expire throughout the entire market, and then I think there's going to be a bit of a pullback, right? And then after that, this thing will push upside, but that's when GameStop warrants start to distribute it, maybe around here, and then push the price up. Okay. And then there's going to be another pullback, right? Because this will go up and then pull back, right? This will go up, pull back. And after that, it's going to go up. There's a little bit pullback. So they're going to go through this type of phases, right? 1, 2, 3, and final squeeze. And there's an earning here. Next earning for AMC is November 10th. So if they blow up this way, they could. I'm expecting maybe the squeeze event could happen before next AMC earning, and after that, when this thing pushes up to $20, and by the way, there's also a gap here perfectly set up there. So I do expect AMC will go up to $20 call option. Sorry, not call options. So $17 to $20 range. There's a huge gap there. I also know that there's a gap here. Let me just kind of bring this up here so that you guys can know. What? Oh, where is it? Oh, it disappeared. What the hell? Where is it? Oh, there you go. Okay, so partial gap. The fuck? There's another one. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, there's a gap that left last year when AMC suddenly squeezed, right? 100% after Roaring Kitty came back, and then they left the gap at $12. So I'm expecting we're gonna see we're gonna hit $12, no matter what. 2021 January squeeze was about almost 800 to 1,000% type of squeeze, right? So when you apply that right now, this is a perfect scenario here. And I'm expecting at least this $12 gap will be filled, and the 17 to 19 dollar gap will be filled, and then pull back. There's $40 gap will be filled for next run. So I don't think we're gonna see a $40 gap this time. I might be wrong, but I'm just kind of seeing that based on the algo. So the question is, will this be done by November? The answer might be 50-50. But I think the best strategy is to buy long dated calls, and I think January 2026 call options is stacking up quite hard, and I think there's a reason why. $20 call option has a lot of open interest, and then you can see why, because there are people in the world, right? Maybe in US, maybe in different country, they see what I'm seeing here, right? AMC hit $20. Imagine how much this will go, right? Right now it's 6 cents, right? 6 cents, right? I'm gonna show you how much I bought AMC, because I did a call options back in 2024, and my AMC call options back then, the average price. So this is the call options I did back in last year, and average price was 8. You could see there's a price here. It says 86 0.086, right? So which is very cheap. This go up to $4.50. Back then I had a $5 call options and $10 call options for May 31st and June 21st, and it blew up to 5,000, 4,000, 4,500 and 5,000%, right? So when you think about the price, when you look at the price, and then the price that currently AMC is now for the call options, I think it's extremely cheap. But $20 call options is actually very risky. So I think $10 call options, something like that, it's very like similar to last year, the price that I bought. So if I were to buy call options, I'll probably buy call options for $10, $12, something like that. Even if I know AMC will go up to $20, I'll probably play safe. But if you want to play much more safer, you could buy call options close to the money. So whatever your strategy is, whatever you like to do, it really depends on the individual's risk tolerance. So I'll leave it up to you. But I just want to say, setup is clear there to blow up AMC to $20. So keep eye on that. Let's go back to GameStop again. So just kind of go over this one more time here. I'm gonna just turn this one down. So now, as I mentioned before, let's just look at the chart 1 second. So back in 2024, this is end of April and May, early May, right? So they start with this, right? You hit the bottom, go up, pull back, create a nice triangle formation, nice setup before it blew up, right? It start to pushes up higher, and then go sideways a little bit, and then do another final short squeeze event, right? So it's very similar to AMC, as you can see when you broke it down into the if you break down the GameStop chart into this, it looks very similar. It start to making this nice stepping stones, right? Before, right, it create a nice stepping stone before it blow up into the second phase, going sideways after we blow up, and then go one more time, right? Go, blow up, pull back, blow up again, right, for the third time, and then final short squeeze phase, right? It looks very similar, I would say. So if we were to now, the fact that AMC is now heading into 2021 January squeeze cycle. And when you think about how GameStop 2024 the gamma squeeze event, the fractal looks very similar to 2021 January of AMC. And then if we were to repeat the same cycle, both AMC and GameStop, we could see a same squeeze event. So which means that we might see a pullback. And I think there's a reason why they left the gap at $24.80 and $25.50, because they're gonna come down to fill that gap. When is it? That's after I think it's if earliest it could be after FOMC, and then after quad witching. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. So we are actually about here. So I think we're gonna see one more push up to maybe 27, about $27 level, between $27 to $28 level, and I think that will be the final top before pullback. As you can see in daily, there's a huge gap they left. All this gap has been filled slowly, and then the final top is $28.40 and 50 cents. I'm not sure we're gonna go all the way down there, because they might leave partial gap for next run. But anyway, we might go up one more time before heading into a pullback. Now, when you look at when you're seeing this in daily chart, there's a gap they left at $23.70. As you can see, there's they left the gap here. Gap doesn't have to be filled all the time, but based on this chart, as you can see, we could see one more pullback before the dividend dates. I'm seeing this pullback after quad witching this Friday, and I'm seeing this pullback possibly next week, and then maybe another week after that, before the dividend distribution date, which is October 7th. So I think it's you could wait for a nice pullback phase if you're looking for it to buy. Right now, I'm playing call options to buy more shares. So today, I play call options. I had a call options for expired next week, and then this Friday, and then it went up today almost 100%. So it's been good. So once this thing hit $27 level tomorrow, I'm gonna sell my call options, and then wait for this pullback, and then buy more shares. That's just my strategy. So I'll leave it up to you however you want to play. And then so as you can see in terms of the timeline, so we got FOMC meeting tomorrow, and the market is expected to cut 0.25. I saw I was looking at some videos from the professional investors, and then if FOMC cuts 0.5%, the market will react. The way the market react will be like, oh yeah, there's gonna be recession, so there's gonna be a market crash. So I think 0.25% cut is more likely next tomorrow. But anyway, I think but either way we're gonna see a pullback here a little bit until and then fill this gap. After that, this is so after there's a bit of a pullback before the dividend record date, we might see a dividend, and then after distribution happen, we're gonna start to see GameStop pushes up to $40 level, which is this chart. And then there's gonna be of course some sell out, right? Because people might start to sell their warrants, right? Because after they receive warrants, if the price go above $32, you could exercise, or you could sell your call options, right? Your warrants, and people might sell, and there's gonna be a pullback like this, right? And then going sideways, and this $40 is not the final squeeze phase. This is the final squeeze phase. So this go another leg up. So I'm looking at between AMC, right? I know AMC is going through a 2021 January squeeze cycle. GameStop is also possibly going through a 2024 last year May run. So I'm going through both to track the time frame, because AMC, it tells me that this thing will blow up before November. However, when I track GameStop, it says it will blow up after November. Okay, so I think I think it's you better play it safe rather than playing too risky. So instead of buying like October call, I think January call option is the best options. Not financial advice, but yeah, I think it's better to buy a little bit further out just in case if the squeeze didn't hit October. And even though the squeeze hit in October, it's always better I think 1 or 2 months out, right? Because of the theta decay. And then so what I'm seeing here is we're gonna start to see a big pushes up like early May last year, heading into $40 level, and then we're gonna see this is end of October, November, and we're gonna see I think a squeeze in November OPEX, and then this area is 2021 January high, and we'll break this thing up above this level, and then it tells me that it go above $200. So if you were to have warrants after distribution date, and if GameStop starts to pushing up to $40, I think you could wait a little bit until the final squeeze event, right? The final squeeze area, which is about $200 level this time for GameStop. So that's just my opinion, not financial advice. You can do whatever you want, but if you see something similar like this, I'll wait, because it's better to sell here, sell here than here for sure, because your warrants will go up like crazy, right? Think about it. There's gonna be more demand, right? And then if you were to plan to exercise call options, it's also better to do whenever you want. But once this thing hit $200 level for this event, this thing will come down to about $50 level. So you're not gonna see $32 anymore, So yeah, I think we're gonna see a squeeze between October and November. Yeah, I think so. But you never know how market maker will always drag the time. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated. But for now, this is kind of what I'm seeing here. Another thing I want to mention is that when you look at this line here, this yellow line is 200 moving average. This is 80. When it cross, when the yellow line is above 200 moving average is above this 80 moving average, and it touches the candle, it goes up. But if this got reversed and the 80 moving average goes above 200 moving average, it comes down and it touches, and that's confirmation. I'm seeing very similar move here when I look at 2 hours. So I could do 3 hours. As you can see, 200 moving average is above this blue line, touches, pushes up, similar to this setup. Now it's the moving average is crossed, so now blue line is above the yellow moving average, so it'll come down for sure. I don't think it's gonna continue to go up like, oh, we're gonna see a squeeze this month. I don't think so. We're gonna see a pullback like this. Yeah, so expect pullback next couple weeks before the dividend record date. And I think this is another way for them to shake people out, right, because of the price drop. But people already know what's happening. This is like very typical Wall Street algo style before something important thing kick off. So everyone know what's going on. If the price is price drop, people will take advantage, right? Especially the retail investors wanting to kind of participate the warrant the event. So I think if you see more price drop after quad witching this Friday, heading into next week, yeah, you could take advantage buying much more cheaper price. And did I mention about this thing here? Yeah. Oh yeah, MACD. So as I mentioned that yeah, we might be mimicking very similar to this one. This is April 25th. There's a large pullback happen, which what you see here, large pullback happen. After that, it starts to pushes up, and as you can see, this is also pushes up a little bit, and then start to breaking out of this one. And I think we might see a similar pattern here. This thing goes up, even though there's a huge price drop. MACD doesn't really change a lot, right? And I might have to change this to maybe a 1 hour, just to kind of match with what I'm seeing here. So 1 hour, we are here. Yeah, as you can see, there's pop, broke out of this middle line, continue to moving upside, pushes up, broke out of the middle line, push down, and then we might see this type the final pop next week. Tomorrow, FOMC. And then after quote witching Friday, this Friday, heading into next week, we're gonna see a dump, just pullback, not dump, but pullback, which we could see something like that. As you can see, also I talk about the line, right? The yellow moving average was above here, right? 200 moving average here, 200 moving yellow line was here. The line across, blue line is above, it touched the candle, pullback. Now blue line is above the yellow, it will touch this here, will pull back. So we might see this type of phase. Even same as AMC. When I take a look at AMC, I know we are heading into, I explained why AMC is heading into 2021. We were all went through that. So if you just joined the live stream, you can check back my beginning of the explanation why AMC is heading into a 2021 squeeze cycle. So now we are here somewhere. Okay. In terms of MACD, AMC also created this triple top last December 2020, hit the bottom, right? It hit huge triangle formation. The huge triple top, pushes down. As you can see, this thing is the lowest. This is the second. Look at this. This is the lowest. This is second. And what happened? Come down a little bit lower, and then starting pushing this upside. Now the MACD line is already above the middle line. When that happened, it was somewhere here. So we are just the beginning of it, and I think for me, if I'm gonna start to load call options when I see this pullback. When this thing go up, and then have a one more pullback, I think that's my entry, because now I know that they complete this step, right? They complete this the first step before heading into a upside. And when you look at this pattern, it looks very similar to this GameStop chart, right? Same thing, pushes up, pull back, pushes up, pull back, and what happened? There's another huge rally, and after that, what happened to AMC 2021 chart? Happened to another big pop rally and then pullback, right? There's a pullback. What happened after that? There's another one, another leg up. There's another leg up, and then heading into final squeeze. It looks very similar, right? So yeah, we are very getting close to the squeeze event, and I do think that I still gotta check the when the bottom of the GameStop, when the pullback happened, when we the bottom. But I do expect there's a because there's a gap here at $24 level, $23.80 level. We might see a gap fill, right? This gap fill, and then I think and then once I start to see this dump wave, right? You see like 1, 2, 3. and then create a final triangle formation before the dividend distribution happen. I think that's when we start to see upside. So based on this chart, it looks like the GameStop will pop starting from October 2nd. If we apply the same thing, it might be somewhere like this. October 2nd, 3rd, 10th, OPEX week. So if we do this way, right? If the second leg up is the close to the warrants distribution date from GameStop, the November earning will be used as a catalyst to create a squeeze for AMC. So which means that squeeze could finish by end of November, right? Because I think November OPEX, they're gonna use November OPEX week as a final the squeeze event. So yeah, I'm expecting from this is September, October, November. You know, if you break down into 3 different parts, September, October, November, and squeeze, right? It makes sense, right? Same thing with GameStop. Let's check another RSI here. So now it's pushing up. So it's right here, pushes up there, so it come down. So I think RSI already had up this much, but yeah, we could see a little bit more upside. Now this is it's somewhere here. I think we might see pushes one more time before a pullback. So yeah, so tomorrow is very important. So yeah, same thing, September, October, November, right? November 12 or something, so yeah, I think I mentioned about U-November phase. They're using same thing, the same cycle. There's reason why I say U-November. It's not just a joke, okay? And another question will be when is going to be a Bed Bath Beyond share comes out, right? And I think like I mentioned before, from the space call, I think it will be somewhere between now till like next year March. And if they were to use Bed Bath Beyond as a catalyst to blow up the stock, we could see I think some announcement somewhere between October and November. Because if an announcement has to happen before maybe 2 weeks or 1 month advance before merger acquisitions happen or distribution happen, cash payout or warrants payout, whatever, there has to be an announcement, right? There has to be an announcement to the brokers, so brokers have the time to distribute the shares or new equities or warrants or cash, whatever, right? They can't just distribute without announcement, right? So there has to be a public announcement. Even if there's a public announcement, like what I see here, there's brokers that they don't allow GameStop warrants, right? Look at this guy, right? So this is from Korea, by the way. What it says is it's called so this is called Korean investment firm, right? Korean investment broker. I don't live in South Korea, but I'm Korean, but I live in Canada. But I run YouTube channels for the Korean community, and my Korean YouTuber told me that there's brokers. So they have about, I think, 13 or 12 brokers in South Korea. There's quite a bit. And there are brokers that, such as Korea Investment Forum, Korean Investment, this broker, and there's another one that is some Mire Assets. That's another broker. So there's about three or four brokers that disabled buy button back in 2021 January when GameStop squeezed, right? So I remember that, and this was the one of them. And look at this. What they're saying is like they're gonna just force liquidation. I don't know if this is actual thing, but it looks like it is. It's for GameStop call options. So they're gonna forcefully liquidate the GameStop call options, and also there's gonna be some the interest charge, if the liquidation happens. So it's like it's fucking crazy, right? So yeah, it is very weird, and I think some of the brokers, I do think that they don't have any shares, right? So they just do a very aggressive move. Even back in 2023, Bed Bath Beyond shares are even this is actually before Bed Bath Beyond shares cancel. They actually announced Form 25, and then it hit Japan first, right? Very interesting, right? The reason I know this is because I have a Korean subscriber who lives in Tokyo, Japan, right? And he told me. And then even Japanese Bed Bath Beyond community were all like the furious, because Japanese broker said you have to liquidate BBBY shares back in 2023. I think it was April. Yeah, somewhere April, May, or something like that. So Japan was the first country that told the told their customers from the brokers, saying, hey, you have to liquidate your Bed Bath Beyond shares, otherwise you're gonna this will go zero, right? This is gonna disappear. And now you know why, right? Roy Key talks about Japan, right? He hints Japan carry trade. There's a lot of shit happen. So I do think that there's definitely a connection between Japan and hedge fund, right? There's definitely a connection, and the connection is the hedge fund, market maker, Citadel, whatever. They went there. They went to Japan. Maybe borrow a lot of money because of the interest rate is so low, and they just short the fuck out of it. And that even Japanese brokers, they don't buy the shares. It's all synthetic. And now, when this type of event happen, broker, they don't want to take a responsibility, right? And they don't have the shares, and they tell their customers, be like, you gotta liquidate, right? Because they don't want to take the responsibility. It's fucking stupid. So I think a lot of my the Korean subscribers, they use something called, they use a brokers called Kium broker. Kium broker seems very legit compared to what I'm seeing. When I look at different brokers in Korea, they are they got this kind of message, and very manipulative message. Like, oh, you have to liquidate this. Even back when Bed Bath Beyond started getting canceled, some of the brokers in Korea, they told the shareholders, be like, oh, you have to liquidate this and that. They just they're just very like scared them away, right? Like, oh, you have to sell. And why are they doing that? Are they really doing that on the purpose of protecting the investors? They don't give a shit about investors anyway. It's really, I think, protect themselves, because they could blow up, and then they could get damaged if something happened to the shares, right? Let's say the broker doesn't have shares. They didn't buy shares. They fucked around, and yeah, there's a squeeze event. They don't have shares. They have to buy back shares. The broker forcibly buy back shares, according to the Thomas What's his name? What's the last name? Yeah, he's the one of the he's a founder of CEO, chairman of Interact Broker, right? You guys probably seen the video interview of him back in 2021 GameStop events. The broker must deliver the shares and all that sort. So if a squeeze event happen, the broker, they don't want to take the responsibility, right? So they tell the client, you have to liquidate, right? It is very manipulative tactics, I think. And the customers are scared, so they sell. When they sell, what they do, they'll probably use that to cover their maybe shorts, maybe in the future or something like that. They just want a less pressure, right? They don't want to pay crazy amount of money because of the short squeeze event, right? So it's less risky for them, less responsibility for them. Yeah, it's a less hassle. So I think that's the reason why that this thing's happening. Also, Salvatore mentioned that it's not only Korea, it's also in UK or something. I don't know. It's a Revolut. I don't know if this broker is from England. I think it's a European broker. Oh, it is a British. Okay, so British and Russian. Okay. So yeah, so this British Russian a broker be like, they don't support warrants for GameStop as well, right? Which means it's the same thing. They don't have real shares. It's all synthetic, and they don't want to get fucking, responsibility. They don't want to deal with that. So they'd be like, fuck it, right? So I think that's one of the things, it's happening in the community. As you know, it's all same tactics over and over again, right? This is another screenshot you've probably seen before. Back in 2021 January squeeze event, we saw this, I forgot his name, but he did an interview with a former SEC guy, right? The bald guy, and then he talked about all finance stuff, and this is a screenshot of it. So this is retail investor Robinhood. We think that we buy shares, real share from them, but actually it goes to the market maker, and market maker, they go to dark pool using leverage ETF. We talk about how there's a lot of GameStop ETF has been created, and this is the reason why, right? They just fucking use the leverage ETF. This is all their tactic. It's already there. Synthetic shares, broker, let's say, have synthetic shares. If this thing blow up, how are they gonna cover, right? This already has been talked about since 2021, right? Look at this leverage ETF. So we are now probably end of it. Why there's so many GameStop ETF is there? Why there's a leverage ETFs there? It's all part of the their products, and just prepare themselves maybe, and even their ETF, leverage ETF, they don't even have shares. It's all fake, right? What is the purpose of having a leverage ETF? Maybe they just wanna, I don't know, like fucking like hedge or something, and then maybe create another option to make puts and calls. Maybe, I don't know. It's all part of their tactics. They fucked around. Swaps. There's huge swap stuff. Also. So yeah, I think once the warrant comes out, this whole thing will be cleaned up, right? Now we can kind of figure out, where's the real shares is, and then imagine how, imagine Rowan Kitty, Ryan Quinn, they exercise. I'm pretty sure they're gonna exercise their entire warrants. And now the brokers has to forcefully buy the shares, right, for them. Or the market maker, right? The market maker has to buy their shares, right? Where are they gonna fucking grab them? And now when Ryan Quinn, Rowan Key, the big guys, big active investor, they start to exercise their warrants. They go grab shares, and they have to deliver to them. Why they're doing that? It's creating a somewhat gamma squeeze, right? It's a force covering. When the force covering happen, the GameStop will hit $40. I don't think it's gonna go up to like fucking like $100 right away. It's gonna like I said, it's gonna start with a small step, the second step, and third step, and final squeeze phase, right? There's a 4 different type of phase if you break down into it, right? Like, you know, small one, big, another middle one, right, and big one, something like that, right? So we are just still in the beginning process of it, and I do expect some pullback, and then once warrants start to distribute, they're gonna start to maybe go up, because the brokers or market maker forcefully buy shares and they're preparing to deliver to them. Price go up. When the price go up to 40, the people might start to sell some maybe warrants. Maybe there's a bit of a pullback. Maybe option people will sell their options. There's only some pullback. It's gonna bounce back up. And what happened here? I think this is extremely important phase, which is around November phase. This is when I think Roaring Kitty might come back and be like, okay, I'm gonna fucking exercise my calls. Maybe Ryan Coin, who knows, and fucking blow up the shit, right? And that's pretty much it, you know. And this thing is not only just happening with GameStop, it's gonna happen with AMC, you know, because AMC is creating a same chart, same fractals, and this is all very well planned out tactics here, you know. This is part of the tactics, and it's set up perfectly, you know. Nice triple top, heading into final squeeze phase. Not final, but the January squeeze event. This is when that happened. We are heading into we are starting to getting into this January squeeze event, squeeze phase. So yeah, I think we're gonna see a squeeze in November, in my opinion, not October. I think October might be too early. In October, I think GameStop will hit 40, but not like hundreds. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. We're gonna see a squeeze, and what's gonna happen after that? We can talk about that after. But this is not it. We're gonna see 1,000. Okay, we're gonna see 1,000, and but we can come back after this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Let's see. Let's check out how FOMC let's see how things will move tomorrow with FOMC events and quad witching, right? We have to be extremely mindful of this quad witching event, because quad witching is extremely large option expiration event in an entire ETF, right? Like, imagine GameStop ETF has options, for example, for market makers. Not only GameStop, entire market. Those ETFs, derivatives options are expiring, as well as individual options, right? It's a huge fucking event. So I think after quad witching, we're gonna see a pullback. In my opinion, I'm not shilling. I'm just telling you guys truth, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm just seeing a gap, okay? And I don't think we're gonna see a squeeze like fucking like just continue to go up this way. This is all pretty much like tactic. You see, there's a gap here, $23.75. I think we're gonna fill this gap, right? We might not, but we're gonna see a pullback. And then there, you see there's a green bars that are left. This is all gap. There's also a small gap here. They left. It's a partial gap. It's very small. $24.85. There's a gap here. $25.60. Right? There's a gap there too. They all left the gap. Small gap. All set it up perfectly. Line up with this pullback phase. And we could hit this. But once you see, so what I'm trying to say is, after FOMC or before, we're gonna go up, hit this $27.60 whatever is the range, and then quad witching, followed by quad witching. We're gonna be a pullback. Okay, and then October 3rd, that's the dividend record date, right? Maybe this is September 30th or something. So probably by about a week and a half, right? We're gonna see a pullback, and then start dump. This is October 7th, dividend distribution date. Boom, broker forcefully buy their shares. You know, as I experienced this whole squeeze event, the market maker never, I mean, it depends, right? But market maker will never do anything until something happens. What I'm trying to say is market maker will never intend to cover their short positions, right? Market maker will never intend to deliver their shares until certain event, right? Because they don't have to. Why would they, right? So because now the GameStop set up a warrant event, the market maker have to, it's a forced short covering, right? Forcefully deliver the shares because they haven't fucking bought the shares. And now because they forcefully buy back the shares and deliver to people, the price go up. It's a fact, right? So setup is there. Even with AMC heading into January, I'm not gonna sure hold 2020 cycle too, but based on what I have, AMC start to break out of this huge triangle formation. What AMC does after that? AMC does same thing. AMC go up, there's gonna be a pullback, right? Same setup. Go up, pullback. Go up. AMC's here. Go up, pullback. Right? And then this is GameStop distribution date. When GameStop move, AMC move. Right? Arcade, post a tweet about when I move, you move, right? AMC is a part of the basket, as you know. So if GameStop move, AMC will follow, right? It's the same thing. So now when we start to see hit this thing here, a lot of people probably like sell some call options or warrants or things like that, maybe or try to exercise, do whatever you want. And then so this is October. So this is October distribution date, dividend distribution date, heading into October OPEX. And then they're gonna pull back by October OPEX week, October Friday week, because if they pass certain price after October OPEX, it's much pressure for them. So they must suppress the price on the OPEX week, right? It's very I think it makes sense, right? And imagine, also think about back in last year when RK come back, RK tweet and squeeze happened on that May OPEX week. On Tuesday was the top, and what happened after that? On Friday OPEX week, they drop, right? They try to push the price down as much as they can, right? Because if they pass the 70s, right, this will continue to go gamma squeeze, right? But GameStop did a dilution, and then it was very tactical, right? Because they want to create a bigger squeeze. So we're gonna see a pullback. We're gonna see so between October 7th to October OPEX week, we're gonna see a run. They're gonna, and the market maker have a pressure, so they're gonna try to push this back, and it will bounce back up. Now heading into November. So November is I mentioned about November thing, right? It's not like I just jokingly say that, but I know that this thing will hit somewhere there because it's just a part of the cycle, and a lot of people don't like to hear that kind of stuff because you have to wait that long. You don't want to, and people like, it's a fucking joke. It's all when you can read the cycle, when you can read the technical, you can kind of figure out a little bit, not 100%. Like I can be 100% right, but you can kind of see in a bigger picture that okay, like this thing will take some time, and I think this thing hit somewhere there, and that was November. And I just jokingly say that, but also at the same time I kind of know that that could be the big week, right? So this is November OPEX, blow up, boom, right? Past 100, past hundreds, go over a couple hundreds. So when you look at GameStop call options, so AMC calls are like fucking stack up right now. So let's take a look at GameStop for 2021 January. So now GameStop call options are going up. The call options are getting stacked up. Yeah, $30, right? There's a lot of open interest. Now we are heading into more 125. As you can see, there's a 62,000 call options are opened up, and then this price is extremely. I mean, it is very cheap, compared to other calls. But imagine if GameStop hit broke above 125 call options and go above 200. This call option will be. I mean, you buy it cheaply. Also, this thing go up highs because of the this, what do you call that, the implied volatility, right? The IV is also very high. So imagine people who bought this much. I mean, yeah, like fuck, they make a lot of money, right? I'm not saying they will, but if that hits, actually, like if GameStop hits the way I see, people who buy calls, all the call option people will make a lot of money, but especially like these people, because it's like 32 cents. It's like fuck, so cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna show you. No, actually, I already showed you. So I think that's pretty much it. So none of this is financial advice, but just expect a nice run, nice squeeze before the year. So we're gonna see October. We're gonna see some pullback after quote witching this Friday, and then after October 7th distribution date, we're gonna see a run. I think there's a reason why Ryan Cohen set it up that way, because there's OPEX week. So we're gonna see a run. Before October OPEX, there's gonna be some pullback on this October OPEX week because of the market maker feel pressure. However, bounce back heading into November OPEX week. I'd expect some sort of a roaring key comeback or something again, or maybe a Bed Bath Beyond something. I don't know, some catalyst. Bring the price up, blow up, right? It's all part of the event and strategy, and then you should make a lot of money here. You don't want people who have missed last year May. Make sure you make a lot of money here. If you miss this again, I mean, there's gonna be another second chance. This is not gonna be the final one. There's gonna be another huge event coming up back in. I don't know. I mean, I'm still looking at 2027. This is going to be believe it or not, this is going to be a huge bull cycle, and I'm looking forward to 2027, especially because that's when the whole stock market will like fucking blow up or something, and we're gonna see a GameStop hit like 1,000 or something. Okay. About 1,000, 2,000 or something like that. So I don't know if they're gonna review Bed Bath Beyond, here back 2027. But I hope that they, I don't know. Really depends on Ryan Quinn's strategy. If Ryan Quinn thinks that the BBYQ is a catalyst, major catalyst for final squeeze event, he's gonna use it, right? He's gonna use it there. And I don't blame him to do that. I rather want to take his time to, just kind of like do whatever you want, right? He has a plan, and let him do what he wants, right? I mean, we all like fucking struggling, because we all put our money fucking into Bed Bath Beyond and shit, right? Like, because I remember whenever I got my check bi-weekly, and at the time I was making a good money. I was a art director, so I was making good money. And every time I receive a check, I just throw everything except for my rent and then some utility and other stuff that I need. Everything going to BBYQ. I just continue stacking up. One time I know that Bed Bath Beyond will come down, so I took some money out and went into AMC, and AMC got fucking diluted, so I lost my money. It was my bad, but after that, if Canadian, fortunately, Canadian broker was my broker I use Questrade, and they're very reliable. And then they were the last one who canceled the shares, by October, and then I buy as much as I can. So because of that, yeah, I'm struggling too, but it's okay. I know it will come back. How it's gonna come back, we're gonna see. We might see it maybe end of the year, like maybe close to November, before November OPEX. We should see announcement maybe October. Or if Ryan Quinn wants to use the BBYQ as the like a biggest short squeeze event like this, maybe around 2027, then that's just what he wants to do, and I don't blame him for that. We rather wanna let him execute his plan rather than fuck it up, right? So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I think I talk so much. I should just shut the fuck up now. But yeah, let's see how it goes, and then let's see how GameStop and AMC will follow this similar pattern here. Pushes up and have a slight pullback, and making nice setup for a next run. So that's pretty much it, and yeah, hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys in next live stream. Thank you.